Brad, I'd imagine it'd be one of the more pleasurable things as coach to be able to tell a whole lot of guys that they're making their debuts.
Yeah, it's been really exciting, and the guys who are making their debuts have really earned their opportunity and worked really hard through the pre-season and in a few cases, for almost 2 years to get this opportunity. So, yeah, it is exciting, and I've been really pleased with the players who are a little bit disappointed to have missed out. They're showing their genuine excitement for their mates who get their opportunity.
I guess when you made that decision last year to move on a few of those more senior guys, it was going to give a lot more opportunity to these younger players now and in the future.
Yeah, and the players have sensed that in the pre-season that there's, we're a youthful group, but the excitement comes from the opportunity to take this team forward and mould it in their own way. But the excitement also comes from potential opportunity for a number of guys. So, the exuberance of youth is there, and I've been really impressed with the attitude pre-season, and we're looking forward to getting out there and performing on the big stage.
Look at a guy like Braden Preuss. I mean, is he probably the most surprising of the fact that he's playing in round one? I mean, given where he was probably 6 months ago.
Oh no, he was progressing really well 6 months ago. We've been really pleased with him. It's probably just more the mix that we thought, Preuss's going to eventually emerge, but with a couple of key forwards, and rucks ahead of him, it was always going to be a challenge for him. But to his credit, there isn't a player who spends more time at the club here working at his craft, and he's just been picked on form, and he's forced his way in through his form in the JLT series. And we've now got hopefully a problem each week picking our best forward ruck structure.
How do you see Preuss and Goldstein splitting up the time in the ruck?
Look, in percentage terms, it'll be, Goldie likes to play a high workload game style, but we think Goldie's a really effective forward. If you go back over history, when he's played forward, he's generally kicked goals, so we know he can do that, and so we'll just work on an as needs basis, but we're pretty keen to try and take some ruck dominance into this game.
At different times, or traditionally last year you had Goldie on his own. Is the change now more so because Preuss has emerged, or because you identified that you wanted some extra support for Goldstein?
No, it's not extra support. I mean, Goldie was certainly hampered in the second half of the year. While he was medically cleared to play each week, he obviously wasn't at his best. So that was probably the issue in the second half of the year, more than giving Goldie ruck support. Majak is still going to be a really important part of our forward structure, and Ben Brown's done a fair bit of ruck work in the past too. So we've got variety and flexibility there, and we'll just keep trying to work out the best forward structure and ruck combination, but we'll be able to pick the team on form, and at the moment these are the best guys in form.
Is Majak playing a VFL practice match this weekend?
Yeah, he is, and look, he's probably a little bit of an exception to the form thing, because he just hasn't had continuity this pre-season. He's been a bit interrupted, and while he's played a few games, we just need more training and games into him, and I don't want to get him out there until he's absolutely at his best, because it can be a bit dangerous when you do that. If he gets out there underdone and doesn't perform to the level that he or we would like, then it can sap his confidence a bit. So we'll bring him back in when he's had enough footy and when he's in really good touch.
And I guess it's the conundrum for you at selection table. If Majak does come in, who does he come in for? A tall or small? Is it all options open, or would you go one way or the other at this stage?
No, it's all options open. I don't have to worry about it too much right now. We picked the team. I'll worry about it next week and hopefully beyond. But I just hope that we're going to have those headaches each week.
Brad, obviously some positive performances throughout the JLT. I know results normally don't mean a whole lot at that time of year, but when you've got a young group, how important is momentum early in a campaign?
I think it is important. What you want to see in the JLT series is one, getting enough time into players, and I think we did that reasonably effectively. We were pushing to try and get a few guys available, and there are players like Majak and Sam Wright who just haven't played enough, even though they're available. But you're also looking for some things to come through and what you've trained in the pre-season, and we saw some pretty good evidence of that. But we know that the performances in the JLT, for a variety of reasons, whether it be reduced game time, increased interchange, all those things don't really reflect the season proper too much. So we take some positives out, but we're aware that come Sunday it's going to be a very different ball game.
Given that you've got all those young guys, you sort of have to stress to the group as well that this is not an excuse for us now that we've got a younger group than we perhaps did last year.
No, I think they've stressed the opposite. I mean, they've bristled a little bit at the suggestion that because they're young and inexperienced, that they're not capable of mixing it with some really good teams, and they're looking forward to getting out and challenging themselves. And we understand that with youth comes some potential vulnerability, but these guys are really excited about the chance, and the young guys who are even playing their first game, they're pretty confident young guys these days. They come through ready to play, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they go, and we'll just keep working with them.
Just on the Eagles, they obviously don't play at Etihad a lot. It's the first game of the year, so they're not going to be probably at their best, or as best as they can be in round one. Do you feel like you can maybe pinch one here for a side that's could finish in the top 4?
Oh, I don't think we'll be pinching anything. I think we'll get what we deserve in terms of if our work rate's where it needs to be, and we execute what we're planning, then if we're able to get a really good result, it'll be on the back of those things, not any luck. But they're a good side. They've prepared well. They've had a good pre-season. They've got pretty much full availability other than their ruck position. So they're going to be a big challenge for us. I think they're pretty keen to arrest their interstate record, even though they probably went a fair way to doing that at the end of last year.
And Sam Mitchell. I mean, what do you usually do with him? Does that change now that he's at another club, or do you play the same kind of role you usually play in?
It'll depend where he plays. I mean, he's been pretty flexible through the pre-season, but we've got a couple of plans for him. But we don't want to get our structure pulled apart by worrying too much about him, because he's teaming up with Pritis now and Shuey and Gaff and Maston, all these guys. They're pretty elite midfielders in the comp. So we've got to be respectful of him and make sure that we take care of him, but not go too far away from playing the game that we want to play.
Have you been in contact with Drew at all this week?
No. I mean, obviously the questions are going to come, and I've had a fair few of them already this week, and so have our players. And we're excited for Drew that he's doing what he wants to do. He's gone across to Perth and he's done well, obviously, in the pre-season to get picked round 1. But Drew will always be a shin boner, and I'm sure he'll be very nervous coming up against us.